Find product links below and hundreds more videos on my channel.
Hi everyone, welcome back. So today I wanted to show you how to adjust the bearing on your Kovacam slider, and I'm not sure if this is the way that the manufacturer recommends to do this, so I'm just sort of wanted to show you the way that I do it on mine. So first of all, what you don't want to do is you don't want to be testing and making sure that you got it just right and then locking it. What you want to be doing is making your adjustments by spinning this, then locking it, then testing. And then if it's not right, then you unlock it and make the adjustment, lock, then test again. So that's probably one mistake that some of you might be doing with this, which is just testing first and then locking it down. Because basically every time you lock this, it actually tightens it onto the rail some more. So yeah. And so, okay, what are you going to need? You're going to need your two little Allen keys that came with the Kovacam. And you're going to need a set of needle-nosed pliers. So I have my SOG right here, but you can use any needle-nosed pliers. Needle-nosed means that they have a pointy tip. And you do need, something quite pointy. I mean, it doesn't need to be sharp, but it just needs to be pointy. Because we need to get those into those two little holes to spin this. So, what's the method? Okay, so first of all, and you're going to want to do this first bit step by step. So, you want to, first of all, release this just a little bit so that it's loose. And then this third hole right here, the center hole, you would say. Well, not the center one right there, but the sort of one that's off to the side that doesn't have one opposite it. So that one has a little screw inside it. So you want to use the smaller of the two Allen keys. You want to get into there and you want to loosen that as well. Next, you are going to want to take the larger Allen key and you're going to want to close this so that it's closed but not tight. So just in a closed position. Next up, you want to take the smaller Allen key and you want to put it into there and close that so that it's just closed. You can tighten it just a tiny bit, but not too much. And what that's going to do is basically that right there is your lock, and that just needs to be in the right place, and then you don't need to play with this one anymore. Basically, this one pushes downwards onto the metal to make sure that this doesn't spin out of position. So that's why we're first tightening this, and then it will fully tighten when we lock this. So it might be kind of hard to understand, but if you follow the instructions as I said, and not sort of add anything into that combination of steps, then this should work the best way, at least from what I have found. So now what you want to do is you want to take your needle nose pliers and they fit into there, so like that. And then you use this to turn the thing. By the way, when you do that, you want to have this one right here in a position that is not tightened and not loose. So it wants to be in a position where, by the way, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this little screw right here. So this wants to be in a position where it's sort of closed, not unscrewed. So that, for example, would be unscrewed. That would be closed. That, oops, would be tightened. You don't want it tightened, you just want it closed. So we'll have this in the closed position, which means that it's not too tight and it will still allow us to move this around. And then what we want to do is, if I can get into a position to do this, okay. So we want to take that, hold that right there. Of course, being careful not to, dig this into your hand or something. You want to be careful when you're doing this kind of stuff. The safest thing to do is to wear hand and eye protection, of course. And okay, so you put that into those two little holes right there, and you twist it just a little bit, and then you tighten that. And you want to make it really nice and tight so it doesn't move out of position. And what it's going to do, it's going to lock that, and it's going to lock that. And then you test it, and you see how that is. And what you want to end up with is something that is free moving, that doesn't have any sort of like stiffness onto the slider, but that isn't loose. So as you can see right now, I have maybe the tiniest bit of movement. Yeah, I do. There's a little bit of movement in there, just a tiny bit, which which could be okay with this slider because it is really intended for lighter use, lighter cameras and lighter setups. So a little bit of play, a little bit of flex in this unit on the carriage here isn't going to cause you that many problems. But ideally, you want to just keep tweaking until you get it just right. But for example, right here, I've got it free moving, but without much flex. And for me, this is going to be fine. And I may still play around with it a little bit, maybe just tighten it just a tiny bit so that I get rid of that little bit of movement in the bearing. I'm not sure if you can see that in the video, but not in the bearing, in the carriage system. But there's a very, 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 very tiny bit of flex. And then that's why you do this. You basically keep tweaking it until you get it perfect, or the way you like it. Because you may want to tighten it and actually make it have drag on the rail. But I found that with this slider, adding sort of grip onto the rail with the strength of the bearings just doesn't give you as smooth of footage and sliding as you would get as when it's sort of holding perfectly but not tight. So thanks for watching. I hope this hasn't been too long, and I hope I've explained myself clearly. Don't forget to subscribe and check out my other videos. Of course, if you have questions, feel free to ask me in the comments below. And another reminder that this is just what I have found works best for me. This is not based on the manufacturer's instructions. And of course, if you do something wrong here, then you could, damage this. I mean, I don't think you could based on my instructions here, but if you don't know what you're doing with this kind of thing, then you could cause damage. So, yeah, I just like to say that in warning so people don't come to me with complaints that they broke whatever it was that they were trying to do based on my instructions. So, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.